Yeah, if you like Guardians Volume 3, I mean, there's enough Alf references in that movie to really make me happy. And I love how they've had Alf references and everything they've done for Guardians now. It's been in 1, 2, 3. Pretty sure the holiday special had it, and I know the I Am Groot comics series, little like shorts on Disney Plus have done it. So
I don't remember it in the other stuff.
I don't either.
It was pretty obvious a couple times in this one.
I believe there's an Alf sticker or something on the tape deck in the Milano in the first movie, and I think you can see it in the second movie as well.
Like Easter eggs in the first two, but
if it's a sticker, it might even be a sticker from the Alf.
Yeah.
Movies on video cassette.
Welcome to Strange Glow Video.
Guys, I'm eating junk and watching rubbish.
We're oozing with VHS, horror, nostalgia, and more.
New Better Block Glow in the Dark.
After a choice of videotape, you can get a glow-in-the-dark hand puppet from the movie Casper.
And now, your hosts, Alec, Justin, and Nick.
Hey, you're not allowed to rent here anymore. Yeah!
Hello, and welcome to Strange Glow Video. My name is Justin.
I'm Alec.
And I'm Nick.
Tonight, we are going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Justin's coming to you from his dad's man cave in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I am. I'm out here on the patio. It's a closed patio.
Oh, you're on a patio.
It's closed in, kind of like a bonus room out here. It's real nice.
Bonus room.
Basically, they enclosed it. It's got a nice TV and everything in here and air conditioning, but it's also got doggy doors so the pups can get in and out. Nice little setup.
Cool.
Fancy.
So first and foremost, we're going to talk about pickups. What did you get?
Well, as I was showing off, Cosmo from the McDonald's Guardians of the Galaxy 3 toy line.
Is his tail wag?
Yes, his tail wags.
Her tail wag?
Her tail? I don't know either.
Yeah, her. Cosmo's a female in the movie version. Is a male dog in the comics.
Yeah,
that's why I was thinking too, but the box.
I like that. That's nice. I'm gonna have to get one of those.
They seem less quality than the Mario ones.
Yeah, the Happy Meal stuff's
like
kind of hit or miss.
I like this one a lot. The paint job on fucking Golden Boy over there is awful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like if you look up close, you can tell it's just like airbrushed by like a machine or something, but it's like...
He looks like Donald Trump.
Yes.
That's scary.
He's got golden skin.
And perfect.
Perfect there.
God.
If you say so.
Anyway.
Did you get a bunch of VHS tapes?
I did. All of which
Why?
are glad.
She's going to gladly.
Why don't you just have them mail you all their VHS tapes?
Well, once we have enough fans, I will.
No, the thrift shops you go to.
Because they're going to try and sell those to make money. I love that box art. That's so great. And the red RCA.
Oh,
the black stripe. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got that on VHS, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, The Good Son. That's a good movie.
Macaulay Culkin. That's a classic.
They could have put fucking, what's his name on the cover?
Mean Girls. That's a damn fine movie. I don't care what you say. It's a great movie. I love it.
I like Mean Girl.
Lizzie McGuire. I never got into watching her programming, but good for the VHS collection.
It makes sense.
That's a little weird if you did.
But I was the perfect age, and also it was one of those things that, yeah, I like girly shit. What do you want?
I still don't believe the ending of Good Son. I don't think the mom would have killed her own son.
Cliffhanger, which supposedly they're developing a sequel to currently.
Oh my God, why?
Which Michael Rooker's in that with Stallone, so I'm down for that. Sign me up as long as you bring him back.
We reviewed that not too long ago.
Uh-huh.
We reviewed that as a Versus, right?
Yeah, we did that with Vertical Limit.
Yeah, Vertical Limit.
The Navy SEAL Workout Challenge, featuring Rex from
Navy SEALs.
Napoleon Dynamite, basically.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You want to round up?
Probably homemade. Robin Hood Men in Tights. Love that. It's a good one.
Have it, so.
Well, you did have it.
Not on tape.
Yeah, on DVD.
Jeepers, creepers. Where'd you get those
Good, but the
peepers?
director's a creeper, so buying the movie used on VHS is still okay, I think.
What did
Yeah, I'd say so.
What did the director do?
You don't even want to know.
Did he direct all of them?
I think so.
Ooh, there you go.
I haven't watched that in a while. I should watch that.
And here, this one's the silver tuna.
Oh my God, that is a great find.
Oh,
Wild at Heart. That's amazing. Nice. You know, I bought a set of those classic books, like that classic old cover, traditional cover, like for like $8 shipped on eBay.
I don't have
New
the
old
separate
stock
book,
is what it was.
but I'll buy them at thrift stores. I have one that's a collection of all the first three. So, and then I just found this.
Oh, that's cool.
I picked it up because why not? I love the art and stuff.
Well, yeah. Housecast. That's a lovely movie.
lovely.
It's hilarious when he's eating It's when he's eating McDonald's and he's like, "It's okay." Catches him cheating because the dentist is supposed to be a vegetarian for the story.
Vegetarian.
Pink taco Tyrion.
Our friend John Yerkeba drew this cover for Transformers Beast Wars. And actually, the Transformers, that Transformers movie that's coming out, I'm going to see it. I kind of just want to see it because I liked the Beast Wars show a lot as a kid.
Not gonna review.
Yeah,
it.
we watched that together. I remember
really
that.
not. If anything, I'll do it like a 1-minute movie review on TikTok or something dumb. But
Please.
I mean, I'll see it with you. Nick can just sit it out.
Do I need to watch the other? Do I need to watch the other ones to follow what's going on? Is this a separate continuity?
Yeah, I don't know what the continuity is of that, but I'm glad they're doing it.
What,
we need
this
more
comic?
vampire comics.
No, it's the new Transformers movie.
well, the first movie is recapped in like the first couple pages of this comic.
Is the new Transformers movie follow the old Transformer movies?
It takes place in 1994.
What is it?
So it's following Bumblebee, I think, in continuity.
So it's in the same universe,
Yeah.
or continuity film universe.
But since I've heard Bumblebee was really good, and I didn't see that.
so I
one,
only
to be
need to
honest.
watch. I'd only need to watch Bumblebee then.
Probably.
Okay.
Because that's like I think that takes place in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Check out this Starlog with George Lucas on the front. And it also talks about David Cronenberg defends his Kinky Crash, which we reviewed.
Lucas.
Yeah, it's a great film.
George Lucas looking a little sexy there.
I like it. It says George Lucas explains why he revised the saga. This could be any year from 1980. Probably 1980.
What year is it?
Oh, it's probably 1996 or so.
Oh, why
Crash is
why
from
he did
96,
the special edition? They made.
Yeah, that's what they're specifically talking about. But I think he's been off
Mhm.
for longer than that. At least technically, because he added the New Hope thing.
Well, yeah, that was fine though.
Well, yeah, no one's complaining about it.
You went a little too much maybe. But did you get anything, Justin?
The last thing. Remember when you gave me this roof piece from your friend's collection?
Oh yeah.
Well, I found the rest of the Jeep. The Explorer, anyway. Not the Jeep. And
What piece was it that I gave you?
this breakaway hood piece?
And you found the vehicle missing it?
Yes.
So you think it was the same one?
No. The color is wildly different. You can tell.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, see? But this piece alone is worth like $30 on eBay.
Really?
Yeah. So with this, it's worth quite a bit, but I'm not going to get rid of it or
Give me
anything.
$30.
Eventually, you'll make
Well,
$30.
I'm glad it found a home.
Yeah, I'm glad it's cool.
That's crazy.
So I've got pickups, but nothing to show off today. So I got
Did you go
the
shopping?
Marvel.
Shopping in Oklahoma?
Yes, but I didn't get anything noteworthy for this. I just got a couple of clothing items and stuff, nothing fancy. But I ordered the Volume 3 soundtrack on vinyl to go with the rest of my vinyl collection for Guardians. So that arrived.
Several
Which I had
of
a
the
friend-
songs are on my daily playlists already.
Yeah.
The
But
song
I got
by
the
specifically,
Why what?
the
Yeah. The is the name of the group. Yeah, that's a good one.
and it's in Empire Records. That's where I know it from. That's where I heard it the first time and was like, I fucking love it.
Yeah.
That's a soundtrack that's...
I also picked up, finished my collection of the Marvel Legends figures, so I've completed my Cosmo. Ordered a Cosmo t-shirt today, so that'll ship eventually. And then my Keep Alive by Ghost Labs 42 or Sponge Face for my HasLab pack arrived. So I got the Keep Alive for the pack and one, so that's a pretty cool set. So I'll do some behind the scenes videos of putting that together in case anyone's
How much is that?
gonna do that. I think it was 70 for the dual kit shipped.
Is your shirt... Do yourself a favor and just pull your shirt down a little bit.
Oh yeah. Am I looking fat over here?
Okay, there it looks less like fat, looks more like just a pec now. So yeah, it's all about angles, baby. Because a minute ago, it just looked like your shirt was folding under your fat.
It looks like the shirt's really big on you, actually. I don't know if that's the case or not.
Well, now it just looks... It literally looks like it could be a pec, or you could have man boobs. You don't know. So that's much better. It's an improvement.
He'll have to grope me to find out.
Subscribe to our Patreon for a chance to win a groping of Justin.
I mean, as long as you ask me permission
Consensual.
first.
So it's just more like you get to cop a feel. Let's say that because it's less.
Yes.
You know.
If you see me in person, you really want to grab a feel, just ask for consent.
Can you visually see how swollen my lymph nodes are?
No, I cannot.
Might not
Nick was overcoming an illness. I'm trying to think of what else I got.
Hey, you know what people should get?
What's that?
I still keep forgetting to take mine home.
One of these glow-in-the-dark Alf ghosts that we made in collaboration with Phantasm Toys. We still have a few left. There is a link in the description if you're listening on Spotify or podcasts, or if you're on YouTube.
Even if you don't,
just go to our Etsy.
If you don't like us, but you like Alf, you should still get it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, if you like Guardians Volume 3, I mean, there's enough Alf references in that movie to really make me happy. And I love how they've had Alf references and everything they've done for Guardians now. It's been in 1, 2, 3. Pretty sure the holiday special had it, and I know the I Am Groot comics series, little like shorts on Disney Plus have done it. So
I don't remember it in the other stuff.
I don't either.
It was pretty obvious a couple of times in this one.
I believe there's an Alf sticker or something on the tape deck in the Milano in the first movie, and I think you can see it in the second movie as well.
Like Easter eggs in the first two, but
if it's a sticker, it might even be a sticker from the Alf card.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you're a big Alf fan, get that. But you guys ready to jump in and talk about this movie?
Yeah, let's do it. Guardians of the Galaxy.
David Cronenberg presents
Crash.
Yes. There's a little bit of body horror in this, which was pretty good.
So there's a fair amount of body horror, but it's animal abuse, so it's unsettling to say the least.
I don't know if you call it body horror, but the villain got it clawed up pretty. Like
RoboCop
face was, yeah.
I like that they actually referenced that because that's what I was thinking the whole fucking time.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting it to be a mask covering what Rocket did to him, though. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that was fucked up. That was pretty gory.
I wasn't expecting to see all this kind of stuff. And
by the way, we're spoiling the movie for you.
Well, we always do spoilers.
I know, but you know, if anybody's new, we want to gain new people to watch this too.
Oh.
By the way, we're going to spoil it out of it.
Yeah, we're going to talk deep spoilers here in this. So if you're not interested now,
is there anyone
come back after you've seen it?
MCU movie to decide if they're going to go see an MCU movie?
I don't know, but I mean, I think people still want to hear what we think about it and compare it to their thoughts. But
Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin's reviews of them sometimes before I go and see them or watch the shows, but they usually don't spoil them. So it's...
I would never listen to a review just in case. Even if it's something they don't consider a spoiler, that might still spoil it for me. So I don't...
Yeah. Depends on your level of interest and what you know, what you've seen in trailers.
Watch reviews before I see a movie.
Yeah.
So this movie at the box office is the second biggest opening behind Mario Brothers domestically this year. Mario hit 146 opening weekend. This did 118 on a projection of 120 million. Globally, though, it's hit. What did I see that? Globally, this did pretty well.
Did Mario have
It
any
came-
kind of Wednesday opening? Because that might have
Yeah,
been
Mario did have that Wednesday opening because it was Easter weekend.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they bumped it up. Yeah.
So the
Yeah,
movie
they moved it up a couple of days.
This was more limited though, because it was just that IMAX trilogy thing, which is what I saw.
I just saw the regular ass shit.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
I'm getting so tired of Nicole Kidman's ass.
Dude, I mean, yeah. I might have to start going to B&B theaters if they don't stop it.
You know,
But I got the movie.
I will
AMC, so
AMC.
you get through 30
twice.
minutes of trailers, and then you're like, oh, finally it's over. And you're like, oh yeah, Nicole Kidman.
No,
You know what?
it's legit. AMC is legit showing 30 minutes of between the trailers and the theater advertising. It's 30 minutes. So I went to B&B theaters this last time because, first of all, it's closer to my place, and pricing's so close anymore these days. I'm like, whatever. But it was 15 to 20 minutes of trailers, right? And
I went to an AMC movie
talking-
recently, and they only did 15 minutes, so I don't know.
It could just be the
they're really
video releases and depends on the
They
movie.
only
But what was that
played-
Scream? That was for sure 30 minutes, and it was like, why?
They only played one or two trailers before each Guardians movie during the trilogy I went to. But
that's good.
No Nicole Kidman though. That was good.
That is nice.
But it was all in the IMAX. No,
you know what?
really
They're
cool.
really bad at that ad too, because she says when the lights go
It
down,
goes on too long.
when she says that, the light should go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just ignorant.
Did
Yeah,
they
they're
not
missing
turn the lights
so many
down?
opportunities there.
No, they go down after that ad.
Hmm.
But it should
Well,
happen
my thing is-
during that ad.
Well, you know, they've got like that teaser, then they got like the Coke advertisement, basically, or the theater snacks advertisement, and then like the safety advertisement. You're like, Jesus Christ, start the fucking movie.
So
That's what I'm here for.
So altogether, with the breaks in between, it was like an 8-hour experience, and I was the most annoying woman in the world was next to me the whole time. She gets there and she's just took a bath in her fucking awful cologne perfume.
Oh,
Sorry, my voice is gone. And then she's just like constantly jumping during the third one. She was pretty good physically during the first two, but the third one, she's like jumping and crying just nonstop. And I'm like, I really just wanted to dump my soda on her. My friends wouldn't trade places with me. It kind of dampened my experience a little bit, but
Did you wish you were at a screening of Dark Knight Rises?
Ooh, that was Alex's darkest joke I think ever on the
you made
show.
a joke
That
about
was
that
really.
recently, didn't
Yes.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was probably the darkest joke he ever made on the show.
you? I should have dumped my drink in her seat when she got up to go to the bathroom, and then when she came back and sat down, she's like, "Ooh."
Well,
then she
no,
moved
we're
or
allowed to
something?
joke about it because it happens so frequently now that it's just, nothing. And nothing gets done about it, right? That last
Oh, yeah,
thing, I saw some horrific shit on Twitter.
We're trying to get new viewers.
I know. I'm sorry, but I did. I saw some fucking gory shit on Twitter. Shit that you shouldn't see. Like,
It happened though in real life. Yeah.
yes, for sure. I felt like I was back on Rotten.com, but I was just on fucking Twitter.
If there is a Batman movie that would lead you to shoot people, well, it would be that one. 'Cause that one was awful. But anyway, back to Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't think he hears you.
What?
I know. I didn't hear what he said.
Thank God.
Everyone else will hear it though, and I'll hear it.
Going
on
to hell
playback,
for
so-
laughing at it. Just like, all right. Yep. I was one upped.
Wow.
My card shipped.
Your what?
My card. I ordered the Alf card from the movie, which we'll get to that later.
Oh.
So this movie, I will say, I enjoyed very much, more so than the second movie of the Guardians movies. The tone's dark. It's gonna not be as a feel-good rewatch as like the first one, but it's still gonna be a very powerful watch.
Yeah, the first one's like sometimes that's one of the most rewatchable Marvel movies. I can throw it on and pass out to it at
The
night.
first one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm never gonna do that with this one. I tell you that. I'll go to sleep crying.
No. Well, especially, but I will say Cosmo was my favorite new character. It really stood out. That was amazing to see the dog in there, and that whole good dog payoff was so epic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I knew it was coming from the moment he said "bad dog" because I know how these movies play out. But for a kid, sure, yeah.
It's still though.
I thought it was a little overdone. It was too much of the.
Well, I wanted Cosmo to be more than Cosmo was a little one-dimensional, but still was dope. Got some cool moments for sure. Cosmo is definitely. I'm a Cosmo stan. Rocket was my favorite Guardian.
Did Cosmo pee on the villain's head, or am I thinking of John Wick?
Yeah, you're probably thinking of John Wick.
Okay, that's it. John Wick.
Yes. So Maria Bakalova did the Maria Bakalova performed the motion capture for Cosmo and the voiceover work.
Oh,
that was pretty cool.
That's Borat's daughter. She was in the
daughter.
She was in the second Borat movie as his daughter also.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool hearing her talk about how she wanted to do. She just thought it was going to be voice work, and then she got to do motion capture, and they had a.
Really?
Yeah, but they also had a real dog on set too for some of the stuff. So it's kind of blended, I think. But
I was about to say the dog looked really good. You could tell there's CGI at work for sure, like lots, but like for CGI, like you said, I think you could tell that there was a dog there sometimes, like just chilling in a spacesuit, or at least part of one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I mean, the CGI in here, I don't usually talk about CGI because it's at the point where most of it's good enough. It's awesome, but
it's with
Rocket
creatures. Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon looks so fucking good in this. Like he's walking around this whole movie.
Let's compare this movie CGI to something very comparable. The Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, where everything looked like shit. Pretty much. At least in my opinion. I mean, like, I feel like I'm insulting artists now, but you know what I mean? It feels like a rush job. Like these people were like, you know what, I don't get it.
Absolutely everything CGI in that one though.
For sure, but like
the background.
This movie has, well, you could tell that their Blade Runner city set, part of it was for sure real, like most of it, but then it's CGI expanded for sure, obviously. But and there's CGI adds like actual things. It's not completely all CGI shit. But
the CGI just looks. I mean, it just looks so good. Like Groot, Rocket, like you got all these CGI characters
Groot
that are
honestly look like shit to me. But that's the design, I think, not the
Groot and Guardians.
Fine.
Groot and Guardians 1 looks better as a character design. The thing that I did appreciate though that they did in this one in Volume 3, and even in the holiday special, is that
Kaiju.
You know, it's a different Groot. That is pretty funny. I did appreciate that. But the when the Groot sapling regrew, it's a different Groot, right? So it kept that shape of the head the whole time and kind of grew into that instead of just going back to revert to the old look, which I appreciate that they didn't do that.
I really liked it new. The Thing Groot reference, basically. Crawling around with spider legs because his fucking body was destroyed for a minute.
Yeah, there was a lot of gas when he decapitated Groot. I think people thought he was dead again or whatever.
That was the one thing of this movie that I didn't necessarily hate, but like on rewatch, it's going to take away from the rewatchability for me is you tease off you're killing every main character in this movie and they're all there still. And you're like, why do you got to do that? Like everyone assumed that Rocket was going to die in this and that or whatever else. And you're like,
well, they were definitely expecting someone to die. And I think he just kind of fucked with you with most of them, at least.
Well, I mean, even Star-Lord at the very end, like when they're like, oh, he's frozen. And then
I thought he really was dead. Yeah.
Well, then I realized, but that payoff they
floating and looking nasty, I thought he was dead for sure.
Yeah.
But then I realized, like, I was like, oh, what Groot said. He's like, why did you save me? He's like, because I believe in second chances. And you're like, oh, okay, so you knew he was gonna come and save Star-Lord. I was expecting that at that point.
I knew Adam Warlock was going to be coming around like that at some point in the movie.
Yeah,
waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, I think that might have been also necessary to make Adam Warlock a good guy. You know, he needed somebody to save, and that was obviously the big person to save for him to gain the audience, trust or whatever.
One thing I thought was interesting, did you guys see Star-Lord wear his helmet at all in this movie? I don't think he wore it a single time.
It was destroyed in the second one, right? Or did he not wear them in the Avengers?
He did.
So he got it back again. Then, because it was destroyed in the second one, but then he had it again afterwards for the Avengers movies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't completely destroyed. He had to choose between the two items at the end of two. But yeah,
He didn't have his
di-
he didn't have his rocket boots either. Because I was sitting there like, why isn't he using his rocket boots to get from the ship to the other ship?
Yeah,
When his face exploded.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know why he doesn't have his rocket boots.
It'd be too convenient.
why?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're just show, and it's a different facet for this character. He's having to overcome stuff in a different way, which worked. But I thought it was interesting considering how much they've done to sell you on the Star-Lord, and then they go with the very traditional Guardians of the Galaxy look, like the original Star-Lord look. Those uniforms are really kind of weird, and to have that original helmet look on there, like I wouldn't have mind if they'd done that original helmet to say that he replaced it, but
Chris Pratt wants his face shown more.
guess so. And that's the thing. Like I don't hate him as a Star-Lord, right? You know, he does a lot of things that I find
I have no
annoying in his
problem with him
personal
being
life.
Star-Lord. That is his best role right now.
I think he does a good
for
performance. He's just
I didn't even have a problem with the first Jurassic World. It's just by the time the third one was coming out with him in it, and they were still sucking, it was just like, all right.
But he wasn't the reason they sucked, I don't think.
Not necessarily, because the first one, again, is okay. I still think it's worse than the first three, but...
This shouldn't have been Marvel.
He did a bunch of action movies, too, and shit, and those are fine. Do what you want. I don't give a shit about those. I'm not going to watch them, so more power to you.
Yeah.
I'm very particular on action movies, so...
Story-wise, I thought the editing was pretty interesting, how we kind of get these glimpses of Rocket flashing back, which I liked, but...
I was going to say, let's talk about the music. Opens up with the Creep acoustic version of Creep by Radiohead.
That really sets the tone, too, doesn't it? Compared to the openings of the
It does. Like, just seeing, like, Rocket, and I love seeing Rocket listen to all this music. You know, he's really in the zone, and he says, I saved that Zune for you later on because it meant so much to Rocket.
Yeah, no, that was sick as fuck. Heart, Crazy on You, which is plenty of movies. Specifically, what comes to mind is Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay. There's a scene where...
I thought it was in the first one that played that song.
Is it? It might be in both.
They do it in both? I'm pretty sure it's in the first one, though.
I'm pretty sure it's the second one.
Isn't that where he's having like a dream where he's married to a weed?
But Weed and his girl, who is the one that's in the second one. She's not in the first movie.
Oh.
She's the one that's marrying the guy who's related to George Bush or whatever. Or remember they were trying to get George... It's a whole thing.
Jesus Christ, I don't know.
Yeah. But that's in that movie during a sequence where he's having a threesome with a big bag of weed and his ex-girlfriend.
I thought that was the first one. Okay.
That's funny. I liked how they edited the Rocket stuff apart, but at the same time, I feel like the movie would have been less sad overall had they kind of put more of that through one sequence. But I see why they broke it apart to tell the story.
It's to spread Rocket across too, because he's unconscious in the present day.
Yeah,
probably 75%. Yeah,
3/4 of the movie, so you wouldn't seen very much of Rocket.
But that shit was sad.
Yeah,
I really liked Lila too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Oh yeah,
I guess I expected that they were going to die, but not necessarily how they were going to die.
Yeah,
I don't know why he just shot Lila in the back, and then he's like, "Okay, everybody, get back in the cage." Well, why didn't you tell her to get back in the cage? That seemed like illogical.
Yeah, he was doing that.
But he
was doing that to
also unhinged. So
yeah.
Well, he was petty. He was doing that because Rocket was smarter than him. Rocket figured out whatever that issue was with the machine that he couldn't figure out. So he was just getting revenge on him for that. Like, no, I own you, basically.
And then the other two got shot like in the crossfire when Rocket was shooting at the guards, or
yeah, seems like it.
Because
that's what they were saying.
They were in the cage still, and I think they were just
they kind of showed that, but I got the feeling, and I'd only seen it once, but I got the feeling that like they shot them while Rocket was out just to piss him off more, I guess. I don't know. But I'd have to watch it again to really kind of understand that whole sequence. But yeah,
Rocket
it's so fucked up.
Yeah, they fucked up. Yeah, I cried during several parts in this movie. For the animal scenes. I could give a fuck about any of the people, but like the animals, I was crying for that shit. Fucking raccoons. Oh my god, the little raccoons, and then the little raccoon with his fucking skull wound and shit.
Oh yeah, Baby Rocket right after the surgery.
Crying.
Learning to talk. Yeah, that was tough.
About Rocket or one of the other
Yeah,
ones?
it was Rocket when he came back with his fucking brain surgery.
That one was rough. The other one that really got me was when Rocket wakes up and like Star-Lord and Groot both hug Rocket and like really like have that moment. Like that was a tough one. That choked me up pretty good.
I thought Chris Pratt did a good job in that scene when he's like screaming, you know.
Well, when he was screaming, that was getting me, but it wasn't because of his reaction. But
I thought
was
he did
a good reaction.
He did a good job.
Well, that's the thing is that scream was in the trailer, so I knew what that scene was going to be. It was like screaming.
He thought Rocket was dead, though.
Right. Nebula's pretty interesting in this movie. I like the arm upgrade.
Yeah, the T-1000 arm. I like that. Yeah, that was very cool. What do you guys think of Gamora's story?
Yeah.
I'd rather her just not even a comeback.
Honestly, kind of same. Because everybody just wanted.
There's not enough time for it to develop, so you reset it, but you're not going anywhere with it.
Like, I get it. You're breaking the trope by having them not actually get back together.
Oh, that's fine.
But it was kind of pointless still.
No.
Well, her being a Ravager just felt like way too convenient. But at the same time, I really appreciated the fact that they didn't have them get back together and like rekindle. Like, I like that she was starting to see him and understand it, but I feel like Star-Lord was over her by the end of the movie, and they'd both like changed positions basically, right? She was kind of like, okay, whatever, but he was basically like, yeah, his friend was, well, basically he realized his friends were more important than that, right?
There's so many characters, though. They had a good reason to not bring her back and give other people more screen time.
But I think she said she's done, so I don't think we're going to see her again or Drax, even though there's a new Guardians team kind of set up in the post credits, or the mid credits, I guess that wasn't it?
But Drax and Nebula are not part of it, though, right?
Those characters will show up in something else at some point for sure. Maybe not another Guardians movie or anything, but probably eventually in Avengers stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
I hope.
Well, I don't think the only people I know that are done with the MCU, I know Dave Bautista has basically said he's done because he only wanted to work with.
Nobody gives a shit about them. We want to see Rocket and Groot back, and those are very easy to do because they're CGI.
I like Drax.
Drax is okay, but I'm like,
was he shirtless in this one? Is he like getting out of shape or something? I thought that was part of the reason why he didn't want to do it anymore too. He's getting old and older, and
he's still doing a lot of action movies.
He didn't want to.
I just think he didn't want to be typecast and shit like that. He just didn't want to be tied down to one fucking only that role. But to be honest, I probably wouldn't give a fuck about him in any other role.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I haven't necessarily seen him in anything.
Well, he was a henchman in a Bond movie. He was. Oh, what else has he done?
He did that zombie movie on Netflix that was okay.
He was a henchman.
I can't remember what that was called.
He didn't say. Well, he said shit. That was his only line of dialogue in the whole movie, so he didn't really have to act too much. But he does a really good job as Drax. So.
Well, they did a really good job with his character arc too, showing that he's got more to him than they know. And he's, when they say, "I didn't know he spoke that language," he's like, "You never asked." Fair enough, right? That's based on his type of character. Nebula, I think we're going to see more of, right? I think there's going to be something there with her because, like, she's kind of turned, and she was in that mid-credit scene, wasn't she?
No. The new Guardians team was Adam Warlock, Groot,
Rocket,
the little girl that is credited as Phyla, which is actually Marvel's daughter. So her name is Phyla Marvel.
Ah, okay.
Marvels.
And then
from Captain Marvel.
The end credits.
And
then who's the? There's also
Cosmo.
Cosmo
upgraded to the team.
And the fucking dude that has the whistling thing now, Sean Gunn.
Kraglin. Yeah. Which I think he'll come back too. So.
And then the end credit scene was Peter and his grandpa.
He's not busy being in random DC shit because his brother.
Yeah. I'd like that post credit scene. You know that Star Lord will return, or they said the legendary Star Lord will return, which I think means we're going to see him somewhere else, or maybe they'll give him his own movie at some point.
That surprised me. I didn't expect them to put that.
Yeah, I'd rather just see, since he's on Earth now, I'd be okay seeing, him in something else, somebody else's shit.
Spider-Man.
I'd like this.
No, but
I mean, I would,
Avengers movie or the Secret Wars or something like that.
yeah, I'd like to see him in some sort of Avengers stuff, because I think since he's on Earth, he's got that ability there. That scene was pretty cool because they never really discussed that about him, like just abandoning his grandfather, who was losing a lot too. So I thought that was a pretty good.
Well, he was
thing,
so it wasn't quite abandoned, but he could go back later.
Yeah, I mean, but
so he's like 90 something.
Well, he was there, at the end of Endgame. That was the battle sequence. He got Breck.
Was Grandpa was in the Endgame?
No, it was
no. He's talking about Star-Lord was on Earth at the end Endgame.
Yeah, Star-Lord's there on Earth again.
Well, he has a starship, so theoretically he could go there any fucking time.
Yeah.
He could just say, "Fuck it, I don't want to do that. I'm going back to Earth." But he's like, "No, I'm addicted to space pussy."
That's one issue with this with this movie's story and it being the last Guardians film, is it's all about Rocket, and then like tacked on at the end, it's like, oh, now we're gonna go our separate ways. Like, why? There was no build up to that. It's like, oh, we have to do it because it's the last film. But why all of a sudden?
Well, I mean,
all of a sudden Quill wants to go home, and this person's gonna do that, and this person's gonna do that.
The way they're dealing with their trauma, like Quill wanting to go home made sense to me because he hadn't seen his grandpa, and he got called out on that, and so he spent time thinking about it, and then he finally realized he's never going to get back with Gamora, so everything he thought he was doing wasn't going to work.
But I thought maybe the story should have led all this to an end.
I mean, I think they just led it to an end of this team, right? I mean, there's been more than one Guardians team, just like the Avengers. There's more people rotating through, so just because we like this iteration of the team doesn't mean we're not ready for others.
Working out really well for the Avengers.
Well, they haven't done another Avengers with that. Their setup is pretty mixed bag. But to be honest, the first stuff,
I don't think anyone's looking forward to
the Infinity Saga's mixed bag too.
Not as mixed, I think.
I mean,
I think you had more actors.
Even if you're just talking about leading up to Avengers.
I think people like the actors a lot more in the Infinity Saga.
Well, you also had bigger that's
actors.
The Captain America, okay? Yeah. So it's like, that's the Iron Man. You're never going to have another Iron Man other than Tony Stark.
Right.
So it's just like you have to introduce lesser characters.
Maybe they shouldn't have gotten such good actors because it's hard to replace them.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying...
No, but I'm saying, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying is like, if you give people War Machine instead of Iron Man, it's like, okay, yeah, but it's not Iron Man. Like, so that's why it's less popular.
But also, I don't think they were expecting this when they cast Iron Man and stuff. They didn't know there was going to be 50 movies.
When they do it right, I mean, they take properties that not a lot of people give a shit about, like Guardians of the Galaxy, and make it one of the top things.
Let's face it, Guardians, the only reason they did Guardians was because they needed a space element and they didn't have rights to the Fantastic Four. Like, that's it. And it worked surprisingly well.
I like space sci-fi and all that, and weird alien creatures.
Yeah.
That's why.
Which is one of the reasons why I like the Guardians series so much, is because it's not on Earth. It's got some silly stuff, but it's got relatable characters as well. So, I mean, I had a good time with it.
Yeah.
The only character that didn't really... I liked how that we learned that Star-Lord's sister is Mantis, but her ending
there seemed kind
of weak.
No, you learned that in the Christmas special, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
We've been it's for a long time.
It's basically loosely aware, but they just confirmed it by she had a conversation with Drax directly saying, "That's my dad too." So
that was a Christmas special.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying
I watched it and I didn't like that one very much.
I rewatched it the other day, after I saw the movie, and the Guardian stuff's a mixed bag because that's more Drax and Mantis and Kevin Bacon, but some of the rest of it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've got kind of a hankering to watch the Infinity War and Endgame just for the Guardian stuff, and
Yeah.
and even what was it, the last Thor movie where they're in the beginning of it and then turn it off after they leave.
Yeah.
Just because I got kind of a Guardians thing going right now. I want to watch some more of it.
Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, I think they really blended in well with obviously with Thanos,
I was about to say, it's not the first way either that Captain Marvel is attached to Guardians, because you have Ronan the Accuser. Who's
exactly.
Guardians, but Captain Marvel's in the 90s, so he's still alive.
Well, and a Captain Marvel, I think in the series, occasionally joins the Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics, right? So, like, that's another option there. So there's just so much on the table still for a Guardians picture that's not strictly the current cast. So,
isn't Adam Warlock way more powerful than the rest of the Guardians?
Adam Warlock seems like comparable to Captain Marvel's powers, but
couldn't he just
is a dumbass?
Does he really need the rest of them? Yeah.
Well, they really kind of botched his delivery, right? They hyped it up so well at the end of 2.
The kid did not playing him or whatever.
Yeah, no, he played the character how he was written, right? And I thought it was great. But
in the movie, he comes in and he just fucking trashes everybody, and then he's just like an idiot the rest of the movie.
Well, he gets stabbed by Nebula, and he's never felt pain before because he's pretty good. But you get that whole conversation where
world weary.
Yeah, they took him out of his grow chamber, whatever the hell they called it, too early. So he's fairly immature.
Developed, yeah.
Which shows, but then like when they kill off his mom in the Sovereign, you're
hasn't
just
hasn't it been 10 years since Guardians 2 when they first showed him in his pod? Or like in universe, it's been many years. How long do they need to?
Well, yeah, the Marvel universe as of Endgame was in 2023 or 2024.
I think Quantumania is like 25 or 2024.
Yeah, I was about to say we're almost caught up to it, but not quite.
So how long does he need to be in his?
And the last Guardians movie was 2017?
17.
First one was 14. But it still took place in 2014. It took place 6 months after the original Guardians.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they take place real close together, and then they hop over to Infinity War. It's been like years for them, like 3 or 4 years between Guardians 2 and that.
Yeah,
timeline's interesting.
Well, that's
the one thing. The only sequence in this movie that I thought was the spacesuit sequence where they're wearing the colored uniforms and go to break into this like living bio jail, I thought was a little.
You can cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like
cool for sure, but like, nah.
Yeah, like that whole sequence, it seemed like they could have just skipped to them like breaking in. Like I didn't care that it was human flesh or whatever living flesh that they're breaking into and cutting up.
Yeah,
like whatever.
I mean, instead of having the movie be 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's about 30 minutes you could trim out of there, and I get it, right? There's a lot of story to tell. It's the conclusion of your trilogy with these characters, but
fine. I thought
there's a few things you could, if you're going to leave it out, right? I'd say, those are some of the things I would cut or trim at least.
I thought the villain was really good. I thought he was above average for Marvel movies.
I thought he was okay. Nothing.
Well,
I thought he was on par with Kang, to be honest, which was.
I thought he was better than Kang, which was kind of unfortunate for him.
Well, Kang has a cooler aesthetic. This guy just literally, I was thinking he looks like a bad RoboCop. And then they referenced RoboCop, and I was like, okay, well, I guess they're self-aware, but.
Well, and then when he has his, like, when they finally take the mask off his face, like, his face looks a little bit like, kind of reminded me of some of the Red Skull look, right?
Yeah, his nose just gone. And
just the design there, a little more damaged, but overall similar look. So,
I was thinking of Two-Face in Dark Knight.
Except
yeah, that too.
Up the whole face.
And it was done much better, the effect, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that was off, like on Counter Earth, the spaceship landing in the neighborhood, like that whole thing seemed a little drawn out. And
it seemed weird. Like, why are the... yeah, I don't know. That was very weird. Like, why didn't they go and land in a field somewhere, or like what?
Wait,
fuck are they doing?
Yeah, that would have collapsed their entire street system. It's like Ghostbusters. You can't walk down the street would collapse.
Well, and the other thing that felt off was the size of the ship. And what did he call that ship? I forget what the name of it is. Is it because the Milano was destroyed, so they call this something else. But
What's the Milano?
yeah, that's what the first one's named after. But the ship's scale seemed like it changed a lot. Like when it landed on counter Earth, it was gigantic. But like when they're flying in there, it seems like, okay, this is much smaller. So I don't know. It just seemed like it wasn't represented in the most accurate way the whole movie. But minor gripe in the overall storytelling. But there's probably at least 20 minutes you could trim out of this movie and make it a little bit tighter and more enjoyable for me overall, start to finish.
I didn't feel like it dragged really. I liked all the weird shit in it. It's like they did the weird shit really well in this and failed in Quantum Mania and Multiverse of Madness. Like
Multiverse of Madness, it just has it's really good and then it's bad for a minute, and then it's good and then it's awful.
I thought this was consistently interesting, where they seemed to lack any kind of imagination in the other two.
See, I think you got a good 30 minutes out of it, but that's me.
No, you could.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was dragging at all, but I'm just saying as far as making it a little bit better of a movie overall, there's at least 20 minutes you can cut out and you're not even going to notice. Now that that doesn't mean I enjoyed the current version any less, but if I would want to rewatch this regularly, that's something I'd prefer to do.
Well, you can make your own edit.
I mean, maybe.
Be like Topher Grace and make your own Star Wars edits.
Yeah.
You combine the first three, the prequel trilogy.
Shit. Cut out all the bad stuff.
It starts, I think, at the end of Phantom Menace with the lightsaber battle.
Because you don't need to see Darth Vader as a little asshole kid.
No.
You don't need to know that Padme had it for a little boy.
She was grooming him.
Yeah.
Yes, basically.
She's going to be the new Flash.
Their favorite trigger words these days.
Should be She Flash. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But I don't know. Overall, how do you say this fits in with the overall Marvel? I mean, we're not going to rank them all or anything this time, but what do you think? Is this the upper?
Definitely upper.
Upper 50%? Upper 75?
25, 26?
Oh, there's got to be like 30 now in there.
Well, if you include TV shows, for sure.
No, movies, I think there's like 30 now in there.
I don't know, maybe.
It's definitely upper. It's definitely...
I think it's at least mid.
I think you're crazy if this isn't the best movie since Endgame, at least. I know people love No Way Home, but I think that's just a nostalgia.
No Way Home,
the shit show that doesn't make any sense.
I would say I probably liked about as much as this one, where I'm kind of just like, okay.
No Way Home doesn't work as a movie if you don't.
The
have
best things they've done
ties.
for me since Endgame is going to be like She-Hulk, and I really liked the Falcon and Winter Soldier. And there was one more I really liked, and I can't remember. They did so many damn shows.
I just mean out of the movies. I mean out of the movies, not TV shows.
Yeah, I think the TV shows have done some of their best since.
Yeah, the TV shows have been better than the movies overall. Since
when did Shang-Chi come out? That was pretty okay. I mean, it's like to see something different.
I'm not saying Shang-Chi was bad. I just think this is better.
I think it's good, but the problem is it's not rewatchable very much. That's the issue with it.
There's a second one.
It's too fucking sad.
Shang-Chi
to me,
not Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi has a much higher rewatchability than this because it's a kind of an origin story and it's pretty fun. There's fun moments in this, but it's sad. There's a lot of sadness.
I like dark, gruesome shit.
What about dark and gruesome, but when it's animal sadness, that's worse than Eternal Sunshine. I'd rather watch that than
Was this the first F-bomb in an MCU movie? Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt, open the fucking door.
Well, I think technically in PG-13 movies you can get away with like one.
I know you can do it. I think it's the first one the MCU's done.
It's the first one that I've noticed because actually, yes, I'm pretty sure it is because
I don't.
They
know.
had Sam Jackson at the end of Infinity War
They
go,
cut it off.
mother.
Oh, and he gets cut off.
Yeah.
Oh, was that when he?
Yeah.
Yes.
when he
Disintegrates.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it does fit the Star-Lord character to finally be the first one to break that open in this version of the MCU.
I also, Nebula called someone an asshole one point. There was a little bit more of that in this.
Yeah, ass and hole is fine, but when you put them together,
Yeah.
they don't like that. What's the other one?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the soundtrack again.
I thought it was my least favorite use of songs anyway.
Well, some of them did seem out of place. In the meantime, the Space Hog song, you know that song? That's
a very popular song.
Yeah, from the 90s, late 90s, I think. I'm not even 100% sure on the year. I was surprised when Dog Days Are Over was that ending song, the Florence and the Machine song. I remember when that was popular, 2009.
To me, that's honestly kind of hurt the movie because I think the first two movies, though, having the classic music on there, like the older stuff, because it had to be tapes from his mom, like going with the Zune gives you the options, but at the same time, I think it takes away from.
Yeah, I like the older stuff being in these movies.
Well, there's not very much new stuff. That's literally the only one that's super new. Like, okay, there's maybe. I'm looking at a playlist that's all of the songs.
Just newer.
Actually, those are old ones.
Than 80s, I guess.
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, especially the 90s stuff.
Which sadly, 90s.
Because it opens up with fucking Creep, so it's kind of like, all right, that's where we're at.
That surprised me.
No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
That was in the Mario movie.
Jeez. And Intergalactic is in the fucking Captain Marvel trailer, like they do with all those songs now, and they make them fucking score songs for trailers. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's called Epic Trailer Version.
Do you realize the Flaming Lips? That definitely fits. It's a fucking spacey psychedelic band.
Yeah, they fit the kind of shoebox of a modern David Bowie in some regards, as far as that space rock opera type stuff, which works in his movies.
They're way more like acid stoner psychedelic too, mixed with that, I think, because they're not out.
Yeah,
they're like,
but I mean,
more one dimensional than Bowie for sure. They aren't genre masters like he is. They're definitely
when I say
tricky
that,
motherfuckers.
I just talk more about like individual Bowie albums where you could say like Flaming Lips has this Bowie album that fits that vibe, right? And they build a whole art form out of that. But
I really liked the Faith No More drop.
What was that?
We care a lot.
Yeah, that was a good choice.
Oh.
Yeah. And then This Is the Day. That's the song. Do you know that one, Nick?
The. I don't think so.
I could have done without the Bruce Springsteen, personally.
Which Springsteen song was it?
Badlands.
How many songs?
Yeah, see, I know a lot of people love Springsteen. I know he's influenced a lot of their bands, but he's one of those people
I don't hate him. I just could have done without it. I'm not a fan, you know.
Yeah, I just don't really give a shit about most of his music. Have I heard a lot of it? Yeah, it's not something I'm like, oh, I need to go buy some Springsteen. It's like, okay. Now, that being said, I will say I have his Nebraska album that he recorded on an 8-track or a 4-track on vinyl because it's a good album. But that's my favorite work he's done.
There's also Earth, Wind, and Fire, Alice Cooper, The Replacements, The Mowglis, Jay and the Americans.
The Mowglis?
Mowglis. Yeah, because they're a newer band too. They're like 2010s, or I think they're just as new as Florence and the Machine.
And obviously they played Come and Get Your Love, Redbone again.
That was from the first movie.
Yeah.
It's also the theme song for F is for Family.
It's also in Endgame.
Is it?
Yeah, because they go back while he's dancing around to it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's very loud, but They do play it for a minute, I think, and then they shows them watching him while he's listening to it through his headphones and being an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this movie a lot. I'm excited about more. I'm hoping to see some more of these characters and do another iteration, right?
What do we got?
I still like
For Marvel movies?
Secret Wars, the show.
Oh.
Yeah, and then since some of that, well, anything in space, right? Like you're gonna have the option to have some of these characters float into there, right? Even with Fantastic Four, you have an option to have some of these characters filter through those lenses, right? So I don't think they're necessarily going to do another Guardians movie for a little while, but these characters are going to pop up elsewhere. So
I feel a little bit better about James Gunn doing the DC movies now. I was like, I don't want them to all be super jokey. But obviously, he can do drama, and
I think this was really a good
jokes
proving ground for him, right? I think he took the criticism from Volume 2, and then when he wrote this, it really worked out well. It shows a good definition, but he can write funny stuff. He can write better stuff. But even that being said, like I didn't love his Suicide Squad movie. I mean, I thought it was okay, but it wasn't my favorite. I thought it was way better than the first one, but
yes.
Yeah, it was better than that one, but I still was like,
it's still pretty good.
I'm never going to watch that again.
Yeah, my thing with it, just like with the DCU, it just like I don't really give a shit. So yeah, I watched it once, I enjoyed it well enough, and I was like, okay, I'm moving on from it. Don't care. But this, I think, really shows that he can tell some stories if he's, doing it correctly. So,
and if he needs to do weird shit, I think he can do weird shit with Superman and it work. Like, don't make Superman weird, but there's a lot of weird shit in the Superman universe. So
I want to see the Bizarro Superman.
Yeah, I mean, don't fucking do Lex Luthor again. Just stop it. Don't do General Zod again.
I would see it if they did.
We've never had
Superman,
a goddamn villain besides Zod and Luthor, and it's fucking stupid. No Brainiac, no Bizarro, Mixelplick, or whatever the fuck that little pixie's fucking thing is.
I think
Wonder Twins appear in there.
Yeah, the fucking dog. That fucking dog.
I want to see the Wonder Twins.
Yeah,
I'd see that.
I mean, let Superman be Superman, but there's plenty of weird shit you can put around him if that's what he needs to do.
As long as you give Batman a dark tone too,
Well, he's writing and directing Superman. I don't know.
Well, they're still continuing with the Batman right now too, so they might just. I'm not saying they'll combine that.
No, there's a separate Batman.
Well, yeah, everything's separate, but now it's not also because Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton are in the same fucking Flash movie.
But I mean, James Gunn's Batman is going to be a brand new Batman, and it's going to be about
they've done that several times. Is all I'm saying. So you never know what the future holds, but I mean, I'd be okay with that staying separate.
I don't know how long or how much involvement he's going to have with that over a producer. I don't know if he's going to write or.
That's the thing with him restarting this universe. It's like, are you just? Because people are going to expect something that leads to a fucking Justice League movie, basically. Again,
was that in his announcement?
I don't know, but I don't think people are going to get that.
Don't announce it yet. Don't make the same mistake. Give everybody their solo movie.
But that's the thing, is he has to do another Batman then.
It's announced. It's called Brave and the Bold or something. Same name as one of those cartoons.
Like, that's just, there's so many iterations of Batman at this point. It's just, they're too close together. I think that's the thing.
I don't think you can have too much Batman.
I mean, I like Batman too, but come on.
Too much Batman. We've also had very little Batman, really.
When you oversaturate something, it makes me give no fucks about it. That's kind of where I'm at. I didn't even finish Mandalorian season 3. I didn't even fucking finish it, dude. Yet. I watched the first 2 episodes and then I was kind of like,
people don't fucking stop saying this is the way. I'm just gonna unfriend all of them. I fucking so tired of Star Wars. Just fucking get a grip.
It's the thing I love. Well, I can go back and watch those 3 movies and I have nostalgic ties to those.
For context, we're recording this right after May the 4th, so
yeah.
I'm so tired of this stupid shit.
If we're on that, and I'm going to go on one here because this always pisses me off. All these fucking idiots that are like, Revenge of the 5th.
Yeah, why isn't it Revenge of the 6th? Doesn't that?
Yeah, I was going to say the 6th is almost Sith in the spelling.
Because so it's the next day. I mean, but no, but you skip a day. Fucking thing that made something out of almost every day in May.
Well, it would take
Just
it
stop.
would take someone probably at least a day to come up with a revenge plan. So May the 4th, and then
Yeah.
let Cinco de Mayo be Cinco de Mayo, because we all need a drinking holiday apparently in America, because that's what we do.
Let the Mexicans have a goddamn holiday. Stop usurping it with your stupid Star Wars shit.
But yeah, Revenge of the Sixth makes so much sense. You drop an X out of there, and it's actually spelled the same way. Like, come on, people, you're not that smart. You claim you're Star Wars fans, but we all know that the smarter sci-fi fans,
the smart one.
I was going to say, we all know that the Star Trek fans are the smart ones
Well,
when it comes
they've
to
dumbed
actual
down Star
science and
Trek.
shit.
They've pulled some of the dumb people into Star Trek recently, but
Well, the thing is, Star Wars people are more your common men now these days. Star Trek people are still fucking people who have pocket protectors and not sex.
I don't know if that's true.
I mean, do you have a Star Trek collection? No. Do you have sex? Yes. I can say the same for myself.
Me?
Do you have a huge Star Trek collection?
Yeah, it's all in storage at my mom's place.
Not on display, though.
No.
No,
It
I'm
was
just,
when
I'm
I
just
was in high
stereotyping,
school.
obviously.
I was in high school and I was having all kinds of sex in that waterbed.
Jesus.
You had a waterbed all the way through high school? How did you even keep that?
It actually popped like shortly after I moved out and like flooded the basement and like destroyed my comic books.
You didn't have them bagged and boarded?
No, they were, and they were in one of those boxes too. Mm. Yeah, shitty day.
All right. Well, I think that's all we've got to say about Guardians. I mean, I had fun with it. I would say it's probably in my top 15 Marvel movies. I'd have to debate.
I think it might be my favorite.
Yeah, I don't see how that's possible, but
because I like the Guardians movies better than the rest. So
there are Alf cards in this movie. Well, at least one.
You can open that pack and see if it's in there.
It's not in here. I've opened it already, but I do have a card from the same set, and I have ordered the card from the movie.
What do? You put them together?
But yeah, they're like puzzle ones.
Oh, okay.
One comes in each set, and the rest of them are
Each pack, individual trading cards, but they all do the Ghostbusters 2 did that as well with like the big movie poster style card that you could build.
Poster out of it or something?
Yeah, essentially, that's what they do. They do the one big poster style card.
Booyah baseball card, the Sport on Melmac.
You got the bubble gum?
Does it look like I have the bubble gum?
Chew it.
I'm not going to chew it right now. I'm going to make an actual video of that because that will do better. But there's the broken up bubble gum in this one.
This shit didn't taste good originally.
Can't even smell it. There's no smell.
Pretty sure that shit was from the 1950s when they put it in there in the 1980s. They just made a whole bunch of it in the 50s, and that shit was never fresh. I mean, what do you do?
You ever feel not so fresh, Alf? Down there?
Made a little,
Summer's Eve.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
it for tonight. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/strangeglowvideo. This week we have a new episode.
Exclusive.
A Mario themed episode. We're
Exclusive to
talking
Patreon.
all things Mario. So check it out. It's $2.99 a month.
And plenty of commentaries.
Link in description. Good night.
To return some videotape.